Butcher's Block.
Peace, y'all. You're in tune to the Butcher's Block, and I'm Frank the Butcher, reporting live from Boston. This very city that Statik Selektah and Termanology honed their skill. Statik and Term are friends of mine, so it's amazing to see what they've come from. Local heroes to international stars. Had a chance to catch up with Term and Statik on the couch, and we touched on their continued partnership, working with legends, and being a real DJ. Check out what they had to say, The Butcher's Block. I'm your host, Frank the Butcher, and today, we have Statik Selektah and Termanology, also known as 1982. What's happening, gentlemen?
What's going on?
What up, fam?
So what's cool about y'all is you guys have your own individual careers. Statik with producing, DJing, radio personality, Shade 45 show. Term running his own label, ST, and his crew, and obviously rapping. But you guys always seem to work together. And what's cool is that you guys came up together. Before all the fame, before all the traveling, you guys were working together, and it always comes full circle. Is that something that you consciously make sure happens? There's always a 1982 album, there's always ways that we're gonna work together?
Yeah, I mean, I think it happens by default, just because everything works hand in hand, whether he has a solo album or I got my own solo album, just things come together and, you know, the people request it.
Yeah.
Is Statik Beats your favorite? I mean, obviously he's sitting right here, but you're super comfortable on a Statik beat.
I'll say right now, like, it's easiest to work with Stat. It's easy, you know? It's just fun. We just have a bug out. It's not the same pressure. Like, even when I get a beat from Premiere, I'm kind of like freaked out. I'm sitting in my room like, damn, what am I gonna say to this?
It's fucking DJ Premiere.
Yeah, what can I possibly say to this, you know? But with Stat, it's a little more free. We just do a bunch of drugs and just throw a party in the studio and drink and like wild out and beat each other up and like climb buildings and jump on cop cars and shit, and then we just go to the studio and rap.
Now you guys never shy away from working with new guys. I mean, you were one of the first people that reached out to like Mac Miller when he was on the up and up.
I broke a lot of new cats, man. Mac Miller, Action Bronson, and Lecrae. I could go on for a long time.
I mean,
Akon, a lot of people.
You reach out early. You give love early.
Absolutely.
And that's real love. It's not like they're popping. I need them. You give the early love to your show, on your records.
That was the concept of my last album, Population Control. I tried to reach out to a lot of cats that people, especially in our age group, haven't heard of.
Do you feel that's like a responsibility on the DJ side?
A lot of DJs are cornballs, man. They don't break artists. They don't break records. Like, when's the last time a DJ actually broke an artist? Like,
no, they wait. They wait for the bubble online on the internet, and then they jump in when it's safe.
You can't name more than 10 DJs that are like doing, you know, making actual history.
What was one of the artists that you broke that maybe your crew or the people around you were like, you sure? Like, Was there anybody that was? No, I'm just saying, no, almost on some like, they were underappreciated, but when you introduced them in the momentum.
Like, even when Mac Miller was like, I had to be like, yo, dude, like, listen to this. To a lot of my people. Like, Term was in Boston, and I called him up like, yo, this kid Mac Miller's gonna be big. Come to New York right now. And he's like, I don't know, I'm running around with my kids, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, come right now. And he drove to New York right then, and we made a record, and it's one of our biggest songs, 82, 92.
I mean, Mac is an independent,
He's a phenomenon.
He's a phenomenon right now. I mean, first independent record to be #1 in X amount of years or whatever, some type of record, that's amazing.
I supported him since day one, man. I think he's awesome. I wish him nothing but the best. I think he's
so you give love to new and old, and I think that's what makes you guys unique, you know what I mean? So 1982, it's like the traditional DJ, producer, rapper situation. A lot of our favorite groups, Gangstar, obviously to name one of them. Do you guys think that that's an important thing to kind of uphold, to kind of show people like, yo, this formula might be you might think it's a dated formula, you might think it's an old school formula, but it's the formula that works.
Absolutely.
It's sad, man. Like, I don't see any kids coming up that want to do beats and cut and scratch and bring the DJ element. Like, it's dying. A lot of the people DJing now are like has-been celebrities that need a job.
Celebrity DJs floating around. You must get mad at that.
That shit
I'm not
must
saying
be
it's not
sick.
mad, but it was like, yo, like, wow,
See, they can't do that with rapping. I mean, there's too many rappers in the world anyway, but like DJing's one thing that like anyone can like decide to be a DJ. Like tomorrow, Screech from Saved by the Bell can be like, I'm gonna DJ Greenhouse. Like,
yeah, the celebrity DJ, yeah.
Cornballs. And they all suck too. Can we make that on the record? All of you celebrity played out has-been DJs now are herbs. You can't DJ, quit.
Let's make a rule. If you were on a sitcom, you shouldn't be DJing.
If you were like If you're not a DJ, you shouldn't be DJing.
Straight up. You know what's crazy about hip hop, and I always talk about it with other people, like with rock and all that. There's a built-in appreciation for what came before them. You know what I'm saying? Like you see Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and there's an appreciation for an artist that's been out for 40 years, but it's not that same respect in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's like someone like KRS-One should be, you know, obviously to us he's a god, he's the guy, but it's like it should be an appreciation across the board.
You hear people saying shit like, he's washed up.
Oh, he's washed
up.
up.
Rakim's done. You're like,
it's amazing.
Like,
no one says Aerosmith is done.
Right, exactly.
You know
I mean, it's really disrespectful to me.
It says a lot about our culture that Kool Herc gets sick and no one will pay his hospital bills.
Absolutely. Like, absolutely.
No one's particular, but like Jay-Z, Puffy, a couple other people took 0.001% of their money and gave it to Kool Herc.
Money that they just made. It don't have to be their total money. It can be like this one show you just did. If you donate 1%, you could have saved the
do a concert at Madison Square Garden for him.
Yeah. How respectful would that be?
It's going to take 30 minutes of your time.
This is a youth-driven culture, and it's the same thing across the board where they only want what's the newest thing. Get rid of the old, whether it's a pair of sneakers, a T-shirt, a rapper, an album.
That's cool for kids, though. The sad thing is when the adults are like that, like all about the new. And, you know, I don't think a 40-year-old man should be listening to a 16-year-old rap. Like, if you're 40 and you got a Diggy Simmons CD, you're a sexual predator.
Term, I want you to keep it extra 100 with me and name 5 beats that Statik either made where you thought it was yours, you wanted it to be yours, it was almost yours, and made it to somebody else. And Stat, I want you to chime in and kind of explain why, you know what I'm saying? But keep it, you know what I'm saying, keep it funky. I don't want a fight to break out. I don't want no powder and water to break out.
Hennessy for that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, man, really, like, it's crazy, the process, you know, with us. I say one beat that I hated, and it was supposed to be me, Fame, and somebody else, and I ended up passing up on it, and it became popping, was the joint with Saigon.
Critically acclaimed.
Critically acclaimed.
Which is
I hate. Fame was like, yo, lay your verse down, do it right now. I'll call Busta, I'll get Busta on it. I was like, son, I don't care if Busta rhymes, I don't care if who gets on this song, I'm not getting on it. I hate this beat.
Really?
And that ended up becoming like everybody's favorite joint. I'm driving around in Boston, hearing it on 88.9. It's haunting me. I'm like, I hate this beat, like even still after, but the song is hot though, so I like what they did with it. The one you gave Styles P for his book,
Sellouts.
That's my favorite beat. That's like probably my favorite Statik beat ever. And he played it for me, and I was like,
what's funny is I'll do a beat,
you gotta give me that.
And he'll be like, Term will be like, why didn't you give me that? And then I'll do something for Term, and Styles P is one particular artist that'll be like, why don't you give me the beat you give to Term or Rex? And I'm like, dude, I'm giving you like the stuff that's dope. Like,
that Term and Rex wanted. Yeah, so that one, recently on Rex's new album, Regrets, Straight No Chaser, that was Rex's beat, then I took it, I wrote to it, came out whack, so I gave it back to Rex, and he used it and made something amazing out of it, so. To tell you the truth, I know Statik doesn't play me all the good beats. He keeps them stashed. Cause he's just like hoping Jay-Z or Eminem or like one of them.
You got a folder.
He got the folder he don't show Term.
I don't have a folder like that, but I have certain beats. Like there's beats I send to Jay and Nas and M that
and you don't show us.
I don't even play for other people.
Yeah.
I've also given Term records that were for. I've given you a couple of those records.
What defines a beat that you give to J, M, or Nas?
It could be anything.
Does it sound
like
bigger?
Richard, the Obi Trice Eminem record?
Yeah.
That beat was in, I almost sold that beat for like, I think I was gonna sell it for like $500 like to some kid in Florida. Like, I'm so happy I didn't do that.
That's crazy.
How did that come about? Did M pick that beat?
Nah, Obi Trice came on my radio show, and I was like, you know, just being the way I am on Shade 45, I always go, yeah, we gotta do something, you know? I always say that. And Obi's like, yeah, like, let's do something tonight. And I was like, all right.
Back to the basement.
So then I went to a party with DJ Premier, and I'm at the party, and I'm getting texts like, Obi's on the way to your studio. And I was like, really? I'm like, all right, cool. And I went to this, because I just met him. I didn't even know him. So I went to the studio, and I remember I was with Freddie Gibbs, Push Montana, there was like some girls hanging out, like talking, and there was mad people in the room talking, while Obi was like, I was playing him beats here and there, and I played him that beat. I was skimming through, and I remember I didn't even play it. I was skimming through, and it like played for a second. It was like, do-do-do-do, and he's like, wait, go back to that. I'm like, whatever, that beat's whatever. And I played it, he goes, that's it. So then he's like, loop it. So I let it play for a little while. And he laid down his verse, and there was like mad people in the room like laid down his verse. The mic was just, you know, out in the open. I can't believe it came out so good. And then he was like, all right, just email it to me. And then like a week later, he's like, yo, Marshall wants to mix it. And I'm like,
Oh, so he mixed it.
I go,
nice.
Marshall? I'm like, M? He's like, yeah, M got on it. And I'm like, oh. And I heard it and I was like, what? Like M's on the record more than he is. He did
Crazy.
32 bars and he did both hooks. I was like blown away.
That's amazing. And that was a sneak attack. That was
Yeah.
like a,
There's
something
another
you
beat.
didn't anticipate.
Yeah, there's another beat that the biggest rapper in the world besides M supposedly wants. So it's crazy how like certain beats, I was about to do a song with like Rex drunk at 4 a.m. and then it ends up with like the biggest, you know what I mean? Rex always kills him, but I'm saying like it's crazy how like one thing can change your whole career.
Yeah. And that's it. Peace of Static and Term for coming through. Make sure you pick up their new album 2012. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Frank the Butcher. And I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Peace. This is the Butcher's Block.
The Butcher's Block.